you?
I'm good, girl. I'm good. So we are back for episode 3 of the Real Housewives of New York reboot season 2, episode 3. So what would you rate this episode? What do you think about this episode?
I watched the episode. Y'all watched the episode. I felt like they hung out.
Okay, they hung out. All right.
I feel like, yeah. What would you rate it?
I mean, if we're going to rate annoying factor, a 10, because I was annoyed by the end of this episode with Uba. I was so annoyed with her. But yeah,
I can see that.
So annoyed. But let's get into it. So the ladies are on their way to the Hamptons. We have Brynn, Jessel, and what's the new lady?
Brynn,
not
Jessel,
Rebecca.
Rebecca. It is Rebecca.
It is Rebecca. My fault. We have Brynn, Jessel, Rebecca. We have them on the helicopter. We have Uba and Sai in the Range Rover. We have
the new one.
Right. We have Raquel in the Porsche, and then we have
Jenna in the Bentley.
Jenna in the brand new Bentley, and Sai's car is new too. So everybody riding in their new rides. Okay. So Aaron is already there, worried about the ladies complaining. Girl, they're gonna complain, so just let it go. They're gonna complain. That's just what it is. Okay. But Aaron, she had a nice charcuterie board laid out for the ladies. She didn't have caviar this time, child. She had food. Okay, she had real food for them. Several. Right. They had options. All right. Brynn was Brynn. I mean, Brynn is Brynn.
She was.
Yeah. So everybody's getting there, and it was great. Now, as soon as Sai and Uba get there, they found out that Raquel said that they wouldn't let her ride with them. Girl, what was going on with this? What was this situation?
And it wasn't even that they wouldn't let her ride. She said, or I guess she communicated to Aaron that they wouldn't let her ride in the front seat of the car. But so let me just say, in my notes, I said Aaron is bone carrying. Before I saw everything that Uba was going to talk about this episode, I specifically noted that Aaron was bone carrying, because if like that phone call scene that they showed, it very much reminded me of something that like I could see Sheree being in as a scene.
Yeah. And it wasn't necessary. Like, I don't know. I just feel like, but what I can say is I appreciate how Sai handled it. She asked Raquel, rather than getting an attitude, rather than going off, she did ask. Now, I don't know if it was really a misunderstanding as much as Raquel. I don't know, because I don't understand how she misunderstood. When they read back those text messages, I don't understand how she misunderstood that.
But wait, I feel like when they read back the text messages, it was more so about like riding and driving. It was never explicitly said, if you want to come with us, you need to sit in the back.
Right. She said she gets really car sick. And I saw what she said, well, maybe you could take some dopamine. Like, I don't know how they, I just don't know how we got to this.
Dramamine, not dopamine.
I said dopamine. I mean dramamine. My bad. I mean dopamine.
But no, I get your point. Like I think that, like Sai said, like it really was something as simple as miscommunication. I don't think it was anything personal.
No, I don't either. I don't think it was anything personal, and I don't even think that. I don't even feel like Sai did anything. Like I don't even feel like it was that big of a deal.
She didn't. I'm team Sai on this one. or you know what? I'm sorry. I'm Team Side 2.0. I feel like I do need to clarify which version of Side I'm on.
Okay, so you're Side 2.0 on this one. Okay.
Yes.
I'm definitely Team Side on this one because again, I just think that was a bit much. And like you said, I think Aaron was bone carrying because, like, really, what did you think was going to happen with that information, Aaron? Like, what did you think?
Exactly.
What did you think was going to happen?
Her bringing that up had no value. No value.
None. Yeah, it was unnecessary. And like you said, it was just a bunch of bone carrying. All right. So we got it. Okay, we got all that cleared up. Is it me or did we totally lose Rebecca this episode? Well, we're gonna get we're gonna get to that when we get to dinner because we're gonna get to that when we get to dinner, honey. My bad. Never mind. We're gonna get to that when we get to dinner. All right. Woo, Lordy. Okay. But I feel like they were still trying to get her to talk about. I feel like I'm jumping ahead. Never mind. So we're still at the house and now we're giving out gifts.
Hold on, wait. I feel like before we give out gifts, you have to talk about Sai and friends break off their break off chat room moment where they went in and they
not the break off chat room.
I don't know. Like, I feel like they wanted to hash out their issues, but it just still wasn't. Sai felt like Brent apologized too quickly, but it's like y'all been having this thing for so long. Like, does it really matter? Like, I don't know. To me, it was just like she said sorry. Like, let's move on. Like, because keep it 100. She not gonna be friends with this girl either way. So just let her say sorry so y'all can keep it pushing.
So this is how I feel about the situation. I hear what you're saying, but here's I understood where Sai was coming from. If me and you have an issue, and we're supposed to be sitting down to hash out the issue, and before I even get a chance to express what my issue is, your attitude is, girl, look, I don't even want no beef with you. I don't want no conflict. I'm sorry for whatever I did. I'm sorry. Can we move on now? I would be sitting there like, but I didn't even get a chance to tell you what the problem. Like, you don't even know what you're apologizing for. And if you don't know what you're apologizing for, then what that tells me is you'll do it again. Now, let's be clear. Brent gonna do it again because this is just who Brent is. But if me and you don't even have a chance to talk about what the real issue was, how do we move past it? And I feel like that's where Sai was coming from. Like, you just want to move past it because you just want to have, and like she said, because you just want to use me for the weekend. You want to have fun. You want to not use me, but like you want to be my friend for the weekend. You want us to, you want it to be all cute and fun. And no, I have a legitimate issue that I personally need to work through with you before we get to the fun stuff. Like, we can get to the fun stuff, but we got to go through it. And I feel like Brent wanted to jump over it, and that's where she was coming from. So I kind of understood.
I can see that point.
Yeah, I kind of understood her frustration.
I see it.
But because I don't. But what I
totally
didn't like was. But now I'm gonna say this, and y'all know that I love Jenna Lyons. I love me some Jenna Lyons, but Jenna girl, you lied. And see, Jenna made it worse by lying.
She did.
Jenna made it worse by lying. If Jenna had just said, yeah, I said you said it, Sai. Now let's be clear. I understood the point that Jenna was making and the point Darren was making by saying, girl, I wasn't the only one. Jenna said 20,000 people told you that that they told her. I wasn't the only one that said it. Yes, I was the one that said it, but girl, I wasn't the only one. Why are we focused on me? But the flip side is we're focused on you because you're the person that I thought I was friends with, the other people, I don't know who these other people are. You're the person in this friend group. You're the person that I care about resolving the issue with. But I do understand why Jenna was like, girl, what's the big deal? Because 5,000 people told me.
Yeah. I felt like you said it.
When that many people tell you, child, at a certain point, you just got to kind of let it go and be like, you said it. So it is like, why does it matter that, see, don't get me wrong. There's a lot of shit I can put on Brent. But this one, like, girl, you said it.
Yeah. In my notes, I
So I
said,
don't know.
please let this be the last episode that we talk about this.
Size exhausting is not that serious.
I agree. I said that was a rough
I
start
agree.
to the
Now that
trip.
I 100% agree. Girl, it was too much. I would have been in the other room with the charcuterie board, child. I would have, because it was a lot. It was way too serious. It was way too much.
Okay, can I ask a
Was
question?
Sai doing team too much by bringing her own? What's up?
Yes, Sai was doing team too much shoot by bringing her own rolling rack. But was I the only person who caught that Rebecca said that she had a menstrual cup and she sneezed and it came out? Is it just me, or I was like, girl, that should never happen. Did you not have it in all the way?
What happened?
Rebecca, like when they were like about to start doing the gift bag scene, Rebecca was, I think she might have been talking to Aaron or maybe Sai. She was talking to one of the ladies, and she was like talking about how she had in like a menstrual cup and she sneezed and it flew out.
Oh, I've never used one, so I don't know how they work. I don't know how secure they are. I don't know. I never used those, so I don't
They're
know about
secure enough that if you sneeze, it shouldn't just fall out.
Yeah, she clearly had it in wrong. Or that was a hell of a sneeze. I don't know. One of the two. Either she clearly had it in wrong, or that was a hell of a sneeze, child. I don't know. I don't know what to tell people. So now we
But
get to
then
the gifts. Okay.
Jenna started giving out gifts.
Child, I thought that gift that she gave Jessel was hilarious. I was here for it. I thought that was a cute little gag gift.
It was. I laughed.
Yeah. And then Jessel still wanted her lingerie. I was like, Jessel, you wouldn't see the difference between me and Jenna and me. She still wouldn't have got shit from me. I'd have been like, nah, you still that's your gift, the Christmas tree. That's it.
I agree. If it were me, it would have only been the Christmas tree gift. I was very surprised that Jenna still had a regular gift for her.
Yeah, she wouldn't have got nothing from me. I'd have been like, girl, you get this. Since you look like a Christmas tree, you don't appreciate my style. I don't have a sense of style. You don't want nothing from me, right? Y'all never heard of the cups? Yeah, the menstrual cup. Now, again, like I said, I've never used one, so I don't need them anymore. But when I did need them, I never used one, so I don't know how they're supposed to work because I never.
I used to use them, but you put them up pretty far enough that you don't even feel it for the most part. So it's just like for it to come out completely because you sneeze.
You ain't do
Maybe she
something
has
right.
kids. I don't know. Maybe she has kids and it's just different.
Thank you, Italia Boo.
I don't know.
I guess, like I said, I mean, I know what they are. I've heard of them before, but I never used them, so I don't know, child. All right, so Aaron gives the gifts, whatever.
Then
So they're
they
going out to dinner. They're going out to dinner. Well, everybody gets their rooms. We don't care. Yeah. At least nobody's complaining about their rooms this year. Jenna actually is going to sleep there this year. So yay for that. Yay for progress, child. Yay. What I can appreciate is that we're not having the same problems we had last year. Like nobody's complaining about food this year. Nobody's complaining about their rooms. Jenna's staying. It's not a big deal. Like I can appreciate that we have made some progress in the friend group. If we were having the same issues, I would be so annoyed if we were having the same issues. Okay.
and I think Erin is a good host, and she learned from last year.
She definitely learned from last year. So they go out to dinner. Erin said, I ain't even gonna try to cook for these hoes. Okay. I'm taking them to this nice little restaurant and we're gonna have dinner. So they had some interesting conversations at dinner. So first we hear all about Raquel and her fiance and how she was proposed to. And we found out about how Raquel became an art curator. And I thought that was a good conversation. As somebody who you were sort of semi in the business, you were a buyer for a major brand at one point in time. Do you find that people of color in those spaces do get looked over or looked, minimalized in those spaces?
Absolutely. Racism is real. So when people try to act like it's not or that it's disappeared, I think that that's ridiculous. Like, I have seen it in my career. Like, racism exists. And that's not to say that the entire world or everything is racist in day-to-day life, but for her to talk about racism that she was experiencing in years that start with a 2, that's recent. That's current.
Right. I thought it was bomb as hell that she was able to build an art collection to the point where other museums were reaching out to her. I'm like, you better go, girl. You better make them come to you. They wouldn't even sell you some shit, but now they need your shit. Like, you better make them come to you. Right. You better.
And imagine being so racist, like, they're not even gonna tell you something.
Right. Like, I want to buy it. Right. Like, I'm not even asking for anything for free. Like, I want to buy some shit. Like, what's the problem here? Then we talked to Rebecca. Now, how did you feel about Miss Rebecca and her? First of all, I felt like Brand was trying to get her to talk about Scientology again because she said, "Well, Rebecca's got an interesting story."
Of course.
And Rebecca was like, "What? What?" Right. So she was trying to make her talk about Scientology again, but Rebecca didn't take the bait. Although I kind of wish she had talked about Scientology by the time she got done with this story. So, how do you feel about my mama's? As long as I agreed not to do drugs, I could have sex in my house at 16. Like, what? How you feel about that?
Wait, did she say that? Or did she say as long as she didn't do drugs, her parents agreed to put her on birth control?
Why? Okay, why are you putting your 16-year-old child on birth control?
I mean, okay.
I mean, what was she needed for? Like, what was
I mean,
what was she needed for her?
So I thought that was, I said TMI. We didn't need this type of information. I feel like that's one of those stories you keep to yourself. I feel like, of course, at 16, I think it is absolutely appropriate to have those types of conversations. However, when I say conversations, I just mean conversations around SEX and contraceptives and drug usage. Like, I think that that's fine, especially, well, I would say in today's world, but her world was probably different when she was 16. But even still, I think it's relevant teenage conversation. I just don't think that's a negotiation that should have been had. At least I feel like if I were a parent, I wouldn't make that negotiation with my child. No.
Yeah, I agree. That's not a negotiation I would have with my child. Because number one, let's just assume for a minute it's not an inappropriate conversation. What's to say that I'm not going to start doing drugs the week after I get the birth control? Like, and how you going to prove that I'm not doing drugs? Like, that is just so weird. I don't know. And you said that you feel like that's the norm nowadays. I don't think it's the norm. Is that the norm? I mean, I think we've always had parents that made different decisions when it came to their kids. I don't know if it was the norm though for kids to, like, I knew people in high school who they were allowed to have boys over and like they like have boys sleep over and stuff like that. Like, so it's not like
sleep
so
over.
I know, yeah, absolutely. So like it's not crazy, but I just think for it to be that blatant, I guess. Well, as long as you don't do drugs, it's okay to have sex. Like, I don't know, it was weird. But it was definitely a lot of information. But for her to be like, is that weird? Like, you have to know that that's not the norm. Like, you're an adult now with children. You have to know that's not the norm.
Yes. The entire table thought that was weird.
Right. And I know for me, yeah, that would not be okay for me. And again, what your kids do, I don't know. I'm just not that person that feels like, well, I'd rather them do it here with me than out in the streets, blah, blah, blah.
Nope,
No.
nope, not that. Not that one. No, not that one.
See, I disagree. I disagree, Below. I don't think kids are more sexually active at a younger age. I just think society has made it more acceptable for us to talk about it. I think we're more open to talk about what we're doing, but I'm gonna be honest. I mean, again, I had friends in high school who were having sex. I knew kids who got pregnant at 13, 14 years old. Like, I don't think I don't think kids are having sex younger. I just think that it used to be taboo and we didn't talk about it. And if somebody got pregnant, you know, we didn't speak on those things and they had to go away and be with family until, you know what I mean? Like, it was not. Now people be pregnant, girls, teenagers be pregnant with their belly out and, you know, all kinds. Like, it's just, I just think it's more acceptable now for us to talk about it and for it to be the norm of conversations. But that's been my experience. Because trust me, I deal with kids and they don't care. They don't care. I raised three girls already, and none of them were on birth control, and I don't plan for the last two to be. I know that's right, Yana. Yana said, not in my house. No, ma'am. Well, that was pretty much dinner, child. So they get back to the house. Everybody's going to bed, but there's always that crew that ain't ready to go to sleep. They're still up. Uba has a bee in her bonnet. I don't know what the hell is wrong with Uba, but Uba feels like all these hoes is fake and she is tired of it. And she feels some kind of way because she feels like Brynn really wasn't sincere in her apology to Sai, and she should have done better by Sai. And I mean, she mad at everybody. What do you think is really going on with Uba? Like, what do you think is really going on?
I think what's going on with Uba is what Jessel says later. She's still mad about the Connecticut thing. And then also, to Uba's point, I mean, Uba, you're sitting here in the kitchen having a conversation with Aaron, who is one of the main pigeon carriers, as you will call it. And then eventually she does straight out, you know, call Aaron a pigeon carrier. But what you're blaming or putting all the accountability on a Big Red, I can't think of her name, on Brynn isn't the only person. And so I feel like she's mad on behalf of Sai as well. And I feel like she just doesn't want to bury the hatchet about last year. So we're just seeing all this like fiery energy from Uba. And honestly, at this point, I need this to be the last episode for you being mad about this as well, Uba. Get over it.
Yeah, I need. Yeah, no, I agree. I think I agree 100%. I think Uba is still feels some kind of way about Brynn. I agree that I think that she's using Sai's situation as a way to express her anger at Brynn without bringing up something from last season. I think that I agree she needs to let this be the last episode because that was just way too much. And I agree with Brynn. Brynn was like, listen, me and Sai were friends before this damn show. Me and Sai have been in arguments before. We worked it out. We're good. We're in a good space. And if we're not in a good space, let Sai tell me we're not in a good space. But as far as I'm concerned, we made up and we're good. I just didn't understand all that energy. That was just way too much energy. I think and what I hope is not the case. Uba, you done went and fell in love and you really just don't care about this show no more. Like, I feel like you are just dialing it in. You're going for the low hanging fruit.
Exactly what's going on.
Yeah, you're going for the low hanging fruit. Oh, I'm gonna beat up on Brynn because I don't have a storyline. I don't really have nothing, and I don't want to put any energy into a storyline. Because let's be clear, we've barely seen you so far, and when we did see you, we saw that one scene with you in the gym, girl. We don't care about you working out. We don't care about nothing. We saw you filming with Sai. You were mad about Aaron then. We saw you filming with Aaron. You were mad about Brynn. We saw you filming with Aaron. You were mad about Brynn. Like, girl, that is all you have talked about is Brynn. You didn't go. You said you weren't coming to Bryn's party.
Exactly.
Then you did come and you were late. Like, I feel like that is your storyline, is Bryn. And that is not going to get you far. Because again, after this, I'm really done with it. I want you to move on. I had such high hopes for Uber. I think if Uber had not got a man, I think it would be different. But I think Uber is just dialing it in. I think she had already committed to the show, but she is over it. Like, she's over it. We already know we don't see her man. Like, he does. She talks about him, but he doesn't film. She is not interested. I mean, he's not interested in filming. So we're not going to see him. You know, I don't know. I'm over it. I want this to be, I'm with you. I want this to be it. I want this to be the last time we had this conversation about it. I want this to be it.
Yeah, and I don't get me wrong, like, I like Uba, but I feel like if this is going to be the energy and what we see from her on camera for the rest of the season, I feel like next season they can either make her a friend of the show or just not bring her back at all.
But the way she's going, she ain't coming back. Like, if this is all she's got, I mean, we see that. I mean, literally, she is still arguing with Bryn when they're doing their promo shoot for the new season. Girl, you still mad at Bryn. We saw that. Remember, we saw that at the beginning. She is still mad at Bryn.
Yeah.
So clearly,
I forgot
this ain't over. Yeah, clearly this is not over. So clearly this is something that goes on all season. Girl, I'm exhausted already with it. Because again, Bryn is Bryn. I don't always like everything that Bryn does, but the whole storyline can't be Bryn. It just can't. It can't. So anyway, they get to arguing or whatever. So the next morning, Uba once again is telling Sai how upset she is. My thing is this: I can't be more mad than you are. Sai is over it. Sai is over it. I can't be more mad than you, mad. If something happens to you and you get over it, whether I'm over it or not, I just got to be over it because I just can't be more mad than you are. Like, girl.
Exactly. And honestly, so my funniest moment in the show happened around this time because it's the next morning. And then everybody's in bed and they're talking to like their bedmate who they slept with. And so they go to like Aaron and Bryn in bed and they were talking about Jessel's outfit at dinner. And they were talking about how she was naked. And Aaron said that she wore anal beads to dinner.
Baby.
I thought that was so funny.
I don't know what that outfit was. And the thing, you know what I hate that people do? I hate when people wear something that's a miss. Sometimes outfits are just a miss. And then they want to talk about, well, it's couture. It's ugly couture. Like, I don't care. You know, I hate when people do that. Like, oh, well, this is couture. Oh, you just don't know fashion. Maybe I don't know fashion, but I know that that's ugly. Like, girl, you had on Skims. You literally were showing your whole hoo-ha-ha.
Just so packed for this trip. I saw from the moment she got to that helicopter ride, just so packed for this trip. I liked her outfits. But I liked everybody's outfits, to be honest, for dinner and everything. I thought everybody looked nice this entire time.
I agree. I agree with that. I think the New York ladies get it pretty right when it comes to the clothing. First of all, we know Sai's going to get it right 90% of the time because that's her brand. Like, that's what she does. Jenna, same thing. Yeah. Like, Jenna, that's her brand. Even when it's ugly, like that dress that she wore to Bryn's dinner. That's ugly.
What do they call it?
The
vagina tampon dress.
The designer tampon dress, but you knew it was expensive. You know what I mean? But it was still ugly. But you definitely knew it was expensive. Yeah, that was actually funny as hell. That was really funny. So they go to breakfast and Uba is at breakfast before Sai because Sai's still getting, she's still getting her life together. Baby, the way Uba turned that breakfast out, talking about pigeons and pigeons and pigeons. When I tell you I was sick of her and them pigeons.
She was ready to go toe to toe with everybody at that table. She told Bren to STFU.
She did. And again, I think she went too far.
That to me was a lot. I didn't think that was warranted. I didn't think.
Are you frozen? Hello?
Oh, yeah, I can hear you. I think she went too far as well.
Yeah, that was a bit much. I thought it was disrespectful. And honestly, we're adults. Like, again, even if she was, okay, we clearly agree that she was mad about more than just what happened with Sai. But even if she was only mad about Sai, girl, you still did too much. It was not that serious. And the fact that Sai, she said what she had to say. Like when she was venting to you, she was just venting like friends vent. She was not venting to you like she needed you to go defend her. She was just venting about the fact that she felt like she didn't really get a chance to actually talk and finish what she, and resolve the issue that she had. Like she wasn't asking for you to go fight for her. Like that wasn't what she was asking. She was just talking, girl. That's what friends do. Sometimes we just vent. I'm not asking you to go fight no battles. I just need to vent a little bit.
Uba is becoming a bully. That's what's happening. And
it's
like in the midst of her trying to hold Brain and everybody else accountable, she's becoming a bully.
Yeah, because that was a lot. The way she was cussing at Bran, and it was a lot. It was team too much. I agree. It was team too much. And even when they were telling her, yo, Uba, you doing too much. No, I'm not. No, I'm not, girl. Yes, you are. You are doing way too much. Now, she said on Watch What Happens Live, they did ask her, was this all about what happened at the finale last year with her boyfriend? And she said it wasn't. But I don't know, girl. I don't know. I'm not convinced that it wasn't about that man.
To me, if it wasn't about that, then that makes your reaction worse.
Right. I agree. I don't know. I agree. So
and then
Sai
Sai
comes
had to call out oh no, you say it.
No, I was just saying. So Sai comes outside and they're explaining to Sai why she's upset and what she's been going off about. And she starts going, girl, Sai is so unbothered. Like she is so unbothered. And clearly they had worked out some sort of signal. And the signal was pineapple. And the minute Sai said pineapple, she shut the entire fuck up.
So when she said pineapples and that was her safe word, why did I feel like I immediately got a Chasing Atlanta flashback to Drew /7?
Right. I didn't even think about that. I thought about the Braxtons because didn't the Braxtons do pineapple? Wasn't that something the Braxtons did? I remember them doing that on one of the episodes, pineapple. But I knew immediately when she said pineapple, I knew exactly what it was.
I don't even know. Is that a universal, like, calm, safe word mode then?
No, I just think multiple people have used it over the years because I think Kevin Hart used it in a stand-up. I think the Braxtons used it because they got it from Kevin Hart. I think Chasing Atlanta used it from the Braxtons. Like, I just think one person used it and it's just rolling.
Okay. That makes sense.
I love Sai's style too, TG. I love her style. I love her style. So with that being said, y'all, that was pretty much Aaron went to go talk to Uba, and that's kind of where the episode ended. It was cold. The ladies were like, I'm going in the house. And Aaron was talking to Uba. Not really sure if that's going to go anywhere, but Uba was basically like, all of y'all are some pigeons. We need to, like, y'all be carrying bones. That's not appropriate, and I don't like it, and it's making me mad. And yeah, that's pretty much what it is. Nay?
Yeah, and then it ended, and I was glad it ended because I was tired of Uba.
Uber was team too much this episode. She's doing too much. It was too much. It was just too much. And I mean, nobody could breathe this episode. Like nobody could get anything done. Lord, we lost poor Rebecca. I mean, except for Rebecca telling us about having sex in her mama house at 16 and keeping the bed. Was that weird that she still has the bed?
She said it was the bed frame.
I don't care. Who still has the bed frame from that 16 years old? And you're rich. I could see if you were poor and if it was passed down, girl, you are rich. I don't know. That was weird to me.
I don't know. I didn't think it was weird though.
I did.
I feel like that's one of those things you can use.
I'm with you though. I was ready for that episode to be over because it was team too much. Uber was doing too much. It was team too much, and I was over all of it. I hope the next episode we get to see other stuff in the Hamptons. Because I feel like we don't see anything in the Hamptons. Like when they went last year, I feel like we didn't see nothing. And this year we at least did see dinner this year. But I don't know. I hope they do something. I don't know.
We saw dinner last year. This is what they do when they go to the Hamptons. They go to the girl's house. They go to Erin's house. They go to a restaurant. They argue a little bit and they go home. I feel like with the other New York girls, like it was a little bit more activities when they went to the Hamptons. We see these girls go to the Hamptons to have a sleepover. Y'all could have did this in the city.
Right. That's what I'm saying. Like, what are we getting? Hello, what are we doing? We need something. I need to see, like, again, this is supposed to make me want your lifestyle. And don't get me wrong, to have a house in the Hamptons, I'm sure is a great feat. I'm not taking away from that. But what else are we doing other than going to an expensive ass restaurant? I need to see something. Do something. Make me want to be there. Make me want that life. I don't know.
Exactly.
She makes Brent cry in the next episode. Girl,
we're gonna have to wait.
She's doing too much.
Aww.
Well, anyway, I'm sorry, y'all. That is the episode, you guys. Thank y'all for being here. I know we had to change the date again, but life be lifing sometime, y'all. I forgot I had a meeting yesterday. So thank y'all for being here. And with that being said, any final thoughts on last night's episode?
Honestly, it was one big sleepover.
Yes. And for those of you that keep asking about Benji, she tried to get Benji to come in the house. Benji is outside living his best life. See, I told y'all she done built a doggy door and she done put a new fence in the backyard so he can go in and out whenever he feels like it. And Benji don't be paying her no mind. Okay. Benji be outside living his best life. Okay. He gonna start coming in the house when it get cold.
And it's starting to get a little cold. So I'm hoping that as it gets colder, he'll come in.
Yeah, I think
yes, exactly.
All right, y'all. Well, thank you for the safe travels, and I will see you guys later. Peace.
Bye.